Hello and welcome. I'm Chanel Childs with ChanelChilds.net, and of course we meet here every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Hello Dee, so grateful that you're here. Now I was actually listening to some audios with an audio of one of my mentors, Justin Varengia, and a couple other people as well just yesterday. And to all of you newcomers, of course we meet here every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and what we're talking about today is really shifting your mindset in your home business. Now, one of the things that I was learning from one of my mentors, Justin Varengia, just yesterday was something that really stuck out to me in regards to mindset and really focusing in on what it is that we desire, right? And that first thing that Justin really talked about was really having a vision, right? Really knowing what it is that you want. And I think I talked about this just yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, but really knowing what it is that we want, right? When we know what we want, we can actually begin to move towards something, right? It's when we don't know. Hello, Phyllis, so grateful that you're here. What we're talking about today is really shifting your mindset within your home-based business. And one of the things, if you guys want to, you can invite your friends. But one of the things that I was listening to one of my mentors, Justin Varengia, just yesterday on an audio. And one of the things that he talked about really stood out to me, you know, because he really talked about the fact that, number one, you and I have to have a vision, right? We kind of have to know where we're going within our home-based business, right? And if you don't already know where you're going, hello, Phyllis, so grateful you're here. If you don't already know where you're going, then our first step is to figure it out, right? What are we going after? Thank you, Phyllis, for inviting your friends. I appreciate you. What is it that we desire within our home-based business? Because when we set something up that we're actually moving towards, we can actually begin to move towards something, right? Versus, oh, thank you for inviting your friends, D-Dub. I'm grateful that you did that. For both of you, thanks for inviting your friends. I'm Chanel Childs to all of you newcomers. We meet here every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And what we're really talking about today is really shifting your mindset within your home-based business. Now, I was actually, listening to an audio of one of my mentors, Justin Varengia, just yesterday. And the one thing that he and his wife, Dee, both talked about was really, knowing what it is that we want within our home-based business, right? Having a vision. So if you don't already have a vision of something that you desire within your home-based business, get one, right? Write it down, figure out what it is that you want. What do you want your life to look like, right? Because our first step in getting what we want is to know what we want, right? If we don't know what we want, then we're going to be like a ship without a rudder, right? We're going to be just aimlessly wandering through life towards our, wherever we're going, right? But when we know where we're going, we have a destination, we have some goal that we've set and somewhere we're actually moving towards, we can actually begin to accomplish those goals, right? So our first step is to, number one, know what it is that we want. Get a vision for your life, right? Get a vision for not only your life, but get a vision for your home-based business, right? So once you have your vision and you have that written down and you can see that clearly, Justin said you want to actually, focus on that end result daily, right? Because a lot of times what happens in the home-based business industry, we get discouraged, right? A lot of times you may not necessarily have all the results that you want. You may not be in a position that you think you can carry on because you think, oh man, I'm not getting any results. This is hard. This is tough, right? Well, it's brutal honesty, right? The home-based business industry is not an easy industry, right? It's not as easy as walking in the door of a job and going in there and getting hired. That's something that's already set up for you, and a lot of times is a lot easier because it's already established, right? But when you're in the home-based business industry, you and I have to be willing to stick through it even through the tough times, right? We have to be willing to go forward even when we feel doubtful. And so Justin really encouraged you and I to, number one, get a vision for our business, right? Know what it is that you want. Know where it is that you're going, right? I think it was Earl Nightingale that says something along the lines of, the fact that people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. Hello to all of you newcomers. I'm Chanel Childs with ChanelChilds.net. We meet here every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And what we're talking about today is really, shifting our mindset within our home-based business. And our first step to doing that, thanks for the hearts, I appreciate you. Our first step to shifting our mindset within our home-based business is, number one, having a vision. Knowing what it is that we want, right? We've got to know where we're going. Like Earl Nightingale said, I believe it's him, don't quote me on this, but he said something along the lines of, once again, people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. Sorry guys, it's really hot out here in Southern California. But he said people who succeed people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. So our first step is to get a vision. Know where it is that you're going. Get a clear picture of that, right? Write it down. Know what it is that you're doing, because like Jim Rohn said, when we have strong goals, they pull us through, right? So we kind of have to have something that we're aiming at, or we're going to run around aimlessly within our home-based business, and we want to get clear on that, right? Whatever that is for you, right? Thank you, Phyllis. I appreciate you. So getting clear, number one, having a clear vision of what it is that we desire, a clear vision, right? Number two, think about that vision daily, right? See yourself doing those things. And the third thing that he said was to really become obsessed with your end result, right? Because when him and his wife, Dee Varengia, it was Justin and Dee Varengia got started out, one of the ways that they were able to accomplish their dreams is because they actually had a vision, right? They knew what it is that they wanted. And then they said that whenever we got doubtful, the third thing that they said was they would just focus on their vision. They would just focus on the end result and become obsessed with the end result, right? Now, what happens to most of us is that most of us get caught up in the daily action, the daily things that happen in our lives, the daily circumstance. Things happen. Our days don't always go perfect, right? We always probably, many of us probably feel like we need more time in a day because time just flies. And next thing we know, it's already night, it's already midnight. We still have to get work done. And it's just like, it's like we're running around trying to get things done. But one of the things I want to encourage you with, no matter what situation in your home business you're in, no matter what kind of doubt or frustration you're in, to just keep going and focus on your end result and don't get so caught up in how you're going to get there, right? Because a lot of times within our home-based business, we get very caught up in what it is that we, how it's going to happen. We get so caught up and we start to analyze and it's like analysis paralysis. But our goal, like Justin and Dee Varengia said, was number one, get a vision. Number two, think about that vision often. And number three, really become obsessed with your end result. Become obsessed with it, because they said that when you become obsessed with your end result, you don't have time to doubt. You don't have time to be frustrated. You don't have time to worry, right? Because you're going to continue to take action, right? So your first step is to knowing where it is that you're going. Your second step is to get a clear vision. Your third step is to become obsessed with that vision. Become obsessed with that end result. Don't allow your mind to focus on the things that you don't want. Don't allow your mind to get stuck on the things that are happening in the outside world, right? Because there's always going to be another level of success that you want to go to, right? You're not always going to be where you want to be, right? Sorry. It's really warm out here, but you're always going to be pushing towards something, right? You're always going to have, even if you reach your level of success, there's always going to be your next level that you're going to be going for. So you're always going to be in a position where you're trying to reach for something more, right? More than likely, right? If you're an ambitious person, if you're very motivated and really wanting to do this home-based business industry and succeed at it, right? So you're probably going to always be pushing to the next level, right? You'll probably, right now, maybe you have a specific goal. So you have a vision, right? Or even if you don't, you'll get one. And as you do that and you accomplish that goal, you're going to eventually, get to a place where you've already hit it, so you're going to have to set another goal. So get in the habit of, number one, knowing what it is that you want, getting your vision written down. Number two, focusing on that vision daily. Number three, really becoming obsessed with it and not worrying about how it's going to happen, because that's where most of us, myself included, many people get tripped up, right? We get tripped up with how it's going to happen. And so that keeps us in inaction without taking any action, because we're so focused on how it's going to happen or what we can do. And we start to analyze our business instead of just trusting that if we focus and become obsessed with our end result, that we will get there, right? Now, I can't guarantee that you'll get there, but I believe that you will. Right? I absolutely believe that if you are willing to focus on what it is that you want, you can get there. And I'm going to give you a bonus step. The fourth step that I actually got from Ray Higdon is to take massive action, right? Take massive action, because that's another way to allow yourself to really focus your energy on moving forward instead of focusing on what's really happening. Ray Higdon said, that he really didn't, he didn't really give himself time to get doubtful or frustrated, because anytime he had those feelings, he would take massive action, right? He didn't let himself get all wrapped up in what was happening in his business before he actually took any action, right? He just took action during those times where he felt doubtful. That was when he took the most action, right? So our first step is to get a vision. Second step, think about that vision daily. Third step, become obsessed with your end result. Fourth step, take massive action. Don't give yourself time or your mind time to think about the things that you don't want or the things that are actually happening. So I hope that this encourages you to move forward in the way of your dreams. Of course, we meet here every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So we will see you acting on your feelings is the key. Absolutely. Yes. It's like turn away from the way that when you feel doubtful or frustrated, just take the action, right? I love that, Phyllis. That's absolutely right. Like, take action, move forward. Don't allow yourself to get stuck. And once again, I always throw out, see our income disclaimer at www.empowernetwork.com/income, because, the information I'm giving you actually comes from people who've earned, millions of dollars in their home-based business, right? These aren't just like tips that I got from like a random person, but these are people like Ray Higdon and Justin Dee Varengia, who are highly successful home-based business owners, right? And this is what they've done to get to where they're at. And so I can only pass this tip along to you and really encourage you to pass it along to someone else, right? Whether you're creating a blog post, shooting a video, or doing another Periscope about it, because I think this is key information of really moving people forward and helping them to shift their mindset and focusing on what we do want instead of what we don't want, because life will always be happening. There will always be things happening around us that we can't control, or maybe the things that we don't want to be happening in our lives, but we've got to push through no matter what. So have your clear vision, think about it daily, become obsessed with it, and take massive action. I love you guys. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Phyllis, for being here. Thanks to everyone else who's been here. You're welcome. I appreciate you all. Phyllis, I hope to see you in Dallas. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.